in regards to, because I heard you say to in interviews, all the attorney generals, district attorneys are all Soros.
They are,
back,
honestly.
Right? And I know, you guys, by the way, he looks, if you haven't seen Googled George Soros, that's the epitome of evil face.
He doesn't look well.
He's anti-humanitarian, honestly.
That's exactly. Elon Musk said that he wants to erode the very fabric of civilization and that he hates humanity. What do you think, Alina, is the goal of like somebody like him, a powerful elite that just wants to destroy the country that they live in? I've been trying
bizarre.
to. How?
I think that what they're looking for, what we're seeing in Washington right now, and look, I'm a lawyer. I happen to be in the political realm as an attorney, but I'm not a politician. But I will say that I deal with the DOJ. I deal with the FBI. I deal with these entities. And the DAs and the AGs, and I see what they do behind closed doors. I see how they manipulate things. And I will say that there is no question that they're so self-interested that their thoughts are not about the benefit of our children. Their thoughts are not about the benefit of our economy. It's about Nancy Pelosi making $100 million off stock somehow when she's on a $180,000 salary. This is what we're in. And it's almost like a fame epidemic, I think. I think that some of these AGs and DAs and the Fannies and the Letitias, and if you look at them, they love having pressers. They love having press conferences. Jack Smith, they love having press conferences, getting in front, having their moment. It's almost a narcissistic. Mm-hmm. And then I got to go out there and fight the BS that they just spewed. Yeah. I mean, I'll never forget the first time I had to do it off the cuff. And it's all because this guy paid money to their campaign, and now they have some promises to fulfill. And that's the opposite of Donald Trump, which is why I'm so proud to represent him. He's not bought. He's not bought.
Should that be allowed? Should that be allowed where, because this could work, you know, like we had Paul Manafort here, and we're talking about lobbyists. Lobbyists are ruining America, et cetera, et cetera. Hey, you know, we shouldn't let people run for office and raise billions of dollars with these super PACs and all this other stuff, and look at the kind of money that this person's raising, that person's raising. Well, let's just say we eliminate the PAC. Let's just say we eliminate lobbying. Let's just say we eliminate a guy like Soros funding your lawsuit. Does that make everything level playing field, or should people like Soros be allowed to fund other people's lawsuit? Because if somebody like the Midas Touch, right, whatever, or the left, or CNN, or these guys, right, so they may sit there and say, freaking awesome what Soros is doing. To them, he may be a hero. To many of them, maybe like, what a great guy he is. He cares about democracy, right? They may sell something like that to the average viewer. But should that even be allowed on both sides? Specifically funding other people's lawsuits?
No.
So what would happen if we, so do you mind walking us through it? So let's just say that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Who loses, who wins?
So unfortunately, here's an issue that'll come from not having financial backing through PACs, right? PACs obviously are important because running for office, running for presidency costs a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And you do want to level the playing field to some regard to make sure that everybody can compete fairly, right? You don't want to have Trump's a billionaire and Chris Christie is, has $100,000. So he is not going to be able to compete, right? I want Chris Christie to be able to try and compete with Trump.
PAC.
And I want them to say, look, you all have funding. Vivek, a lot of funding. The numbers are just not where Trump is. So at the end of the day, I don't think it necessarily hurts us. What hurts us is this legal backing, the AGs and DAs. That's where I say you have no business putting money into the legal system, meaning judicial, the FBI, the DOJ, backing them. Letitia James, they're all politicians. And they get backed, and then they have to keep promises. So I don't like that. Now, something for president, something that major, I don't see how they could do it without it. But in terms of these individual states having political backing, that concerns me because you're seeing targeting. And I'm there in court, and the targeting you hear about in the media is nowhere near as bad as it actually is, I can assure you.
She campaigned on basically prosecuting Trump. That was her campaign message. But back to Pat's question, you hear campaign finance reform, the Citizens United ruling under Justice Roberts in early 2000s, 2008, I want to say, whenever it was. How much of a factor is that in all this?
For me, not. I stay out of the campaign. I intentionally am not hired by the campaign. So I you can choose to stay out of it. I think that's a good example, right? I am not a campaign person. I don't want to be on the campaign right now. That's not where my best use of time is. If I were on the campaign and I was backed by one of these campaign finances or some donor for President Trump, right? And I was getting paid that way, people would, I think, discredit some of what I say. And I think that's just a choice. Are we going to stop it? The reality is, no. We're not.
There's no.
They try and reform it. They try.
Reformed.
I mean, I think they're trying to be as expose. They're trying to expose as much as they can, and you can do your research and do it and look at who's giving to who and what. But I don't know that it will ever happen, to be honest. I mean, the country is a political country. In a way, that's what makes us a democracy, right? Because we do have politics, and it's gotten completely out of control.
And isn't the entire premise of that, you'll way more of an expert than us on this.
Oh, I'm not a campaign expert.
No, but you understand law, and I mean, this is your lawyer you're representing Donald Trump. Isn't it the fact that corporations are people?
Yeah.
Isn't that what essentially the argument is at Citizens United?
Yeah, they are people. They are people, and they have voices, and they also have a lot of money. But, I think it's up to the candidates. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
You can get somebody could fund me and say, here, I'm giving you $1 billion to run for president, and I'm going to fund you. But if I'm not going to be one of those puppets, like, that's just not who I am. I never would be. President Trump never would be. He wouldn't come in and be like, I promise to make you. It's just not who he is. I know that because he treats us all that way, I had to earn my stripes with him. You have to earn respect, and nothing you do, will give him that. No check writing will do that for him. So I will say there are others like Pelosi's and Schumer's that make me concerned, whether it's corporate, whether it's, some entity that's looking for wokeness and to transition your children at 2 years old. I can't have that. I mean, but they'll do. Some of them will sign their life away for anything.
So it's interesting you said that about Pelosi. I think we need to give her proper respect. Rob, if you can pull up some of the the greatest stock pickers of 2023, she will be upset. Because she dropped. She dropped off. No, she dropped. She's going to be upset with this report. Go ahead. Can you pull it all the way down to the numbers, Rob? Keep going, keep going, keep going. Here's who led the way in 2023 in stocks held and the returns in 2023. Look all the way at the top. Can you zoom in a little bit? Brian, we got to properly recognize these guys. Brian Higgins, 238% rate of return in 2023.
Democrat.
Mark Green, 122.
Republican.
Garrett Graves, David Rouser, all above 100%. Seth Moulton, Ron Wyden, Joel Rutherford, Richard Blumenthal, 68, Pelosi, 60. She dropped off. I mean, that's very disappointing. God. She's on number 9. She's in the top 10, but I'm sure
her intel must not have been there for her this year.
Knowing how competitive she is, she's probably very frustrated with this list.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.